And for more on the dangerous fire weather impacting South Australia, I'm joined by Nikolina Kharoufeh from Sky News Weather. Nikolina, two particular districts are of concern today.
Yeah, very much so. Catastrophic fire danger, that's the Eastern Eyre and Yorke Peninsula. And within this particular rating, fires that take hold can travel very quickly, be uncontrollable and uncontained for a long period of time. It's a number of different factors in terms of weather that's driving this. Now, first of all, it's that heat. 37 degrees is your maximum forecast in Adelaide today. You can see it coming in from that northerly direction, being funneled into that southern district of South Australia. So very warm conditions indeed. Now, in behind it is this westerly flow, and that's all thanks to a cool, stormy change that's moving through. It will be a wet one, but ahead of it being wet and extinguishing that kind of elevated fire danger, we are expecting that wind shift to also provide quite a challenge if a fire takes hold in this region. So that particular front is what's driving this warm, dry air mass right ahead of it. So we do have those two districts under catastrophic fire danger, in and around that extreme fire danger. And of course, that is not one to dismiss. Extreme fire danger can also result in uncontrollable and very fast moving fires. There's a lot of dry fuel in this region as well due to an under season in terms of wet weather. So we are watching this closely, watching out for any warnings that are issued in this region as well. So let's see that cold, cool change come through as well and how that will play out. Early in the morning on Sunday, you'll see that wet weather start to travel through South Australia. It'll also trigger some storm activity and some heavier falls across New South Wales and Victoria tomorrow. It's also a warm one in Melbourne today, so you'll feel that cooler change coming through for the finish of the weekend. And in behind it, some cooler southwesterlies as well. So a huge drop in the temperature, a dramatic change in terms of our maximum forecast. At the hottest part of Sunday, you can see a lot of blue shading there, which indicates regions that will be in below that 25-degree mark as opposed to that 35-degree mark throughout today. It was also a warm, uncomfortable night in Adelaide. 21 degrees is your minimum forecast. Melbourne itself a cool one ahead of that very warm day. In also Canberra, heading for 30 degrees.
And we're entering the 7th day of storm watch across the east. Where are we really focusing on here?
Yeah, Queensland, New South Wales have been triggered by storms every single evening throughout this week. And we continue to see that wet weather be showered across Sydney, Coffs Harbour, Lismore, all around that eastern coastline. We're expecting showers. But in terms of that storm activity, the focus area throughout today is instability building across inland regions of Queensland. So moving a little further off from the southeast corner, that red shading there indicating the likely areas which we're watching for storm activity throughout this afternoon and evening. But it's a wide area that's under the chance of storms, so still could happen in and around that Brisbane, Sunshine Coast region and also across in Burke and the inland regions of New South Wales. So we're watching that closely. Of course, any storm warnings that are issued, you can check in on the details here at Sky News Weather at 6:01. But ahead of that, showers, unfortunately gloomy in Brisbane and Sydney, a fine day in Perth at 25 degrees, and the heatwave conditions are starting to ease and pull back from the top end, thankfully, thanks to some wet weather moving through.
Thank you, Nikolina. We'll get more throughout the course of the morning, of course.